This story, titled, I Found Out My Boyfriend Has Been Venting About Our Relationship to His Female Best Friend, and It Feels Like a Betrayal, begins with something so small, so seemingly insignificant, that I almost missed it. It was a Tuesday evening. The kind of evening where nothing remarkable happens, where life feels predictable, comfortable, settled. I was standing in the kitchen, stirring a pot of soup, when my boyfriend Liam walked in, his phone in his hand, a faint smile playing on his lips. He hadn't noticed me yet. "Yeah, I know," he said, chuckling softly. "I don't know what to do about it either." I turned, curiosity flickering inside me. "Who are you talking to?" Liam looked up, startled, and for a fraction of a second, just a tiny fleeting moment, I saw something cross his face. Guilt. But then he smiled, slipping his phone into his pocket. Just Emily. Emily, his best friend. The woman he had known since college. The woman he had always sworn was just a friend. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him. But that flicker of guilt, that hesitation before he answered, it lodged itself in my mind like a splinter. That night, long after Liam had fallen asleep, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. A part of me felt ridiculous. Jealousy wasn't something I struggled with. I had always prided myself on being the kind of woman who didn't snoop, who didn't let insecurity eat away at her. But something about this felt different. The next morning, as Liam showered, I picked up his phone. I didn't even have to unlock it. His notifications were right there, glowing on the screen. And my heart stopped. "I get why you're frustrated. She's being unfair to you." Emily. If I were in your position, I'd feel the same way. My stomach twisted. I wasn't just in their conversation. I was the topic of it. The rest of the day passed in a blur. I went to work. I smiled when I was supposed to. I nodded at all the right moments. But inside, something was unraveling. That night, when Liam got home, I was already sitting at the kitchen table, his phone in front of me. He froze in the doorway. "What's going on?" I swallowed hard, my fingers gripping the edge of the table. "I saw your messages with Emily." His face paled. "You what?" I took a deep breath, forcing my voice to stay calm. "I wasn't snooping, Liam. Your phone lit up, and I saw that you've been talking to Emily about me." For a moment, he didn't say anything. Then he sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "Look, it's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is," I said, my voice quieter now. Liam hesitated. "Emily's just someone I talk to. She listens, she gives advice." I felt my stomach clench. "So instead of talking to me about our problems, you go to her?" "She's neutral," he said quickly. "She helps me see things from a different perspective." I let out a short, bitter laugh. "A different perspective?" "Liam, you were telling her things about me, about our relationship, without even talking to me first." His jaw tightened. "It's not like I'm cheating on you." I flinched. "No, but it feels like a betrayal." Silence stretched between us, and in that silence something inside me cracked. Liam sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I didn't mean to hurt you," he said finally. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But the damage had already been done. The trust I once had, the unwavering confidence that Liam and I were a team, felt shaky now, unstable beneath my feet. "Liam," I said, my voice softer but still firm, "do you even hear yourself? You don't think it's a problem that you're complaining about our relationship to another woman instead of talking to me?" He shook his head, frustrated. "Emily isn't just another woman. She's my best friend. She's been there for me since before we were together. Why does that threaten you?" I blinked, caught off guard. "Threaten me." My chest tightened. "This isn't about being threatened. This is about respect." Liam exhaled sharply. "Then what do you want me to do? Cut her off? Never talk to her again?" "No," I said, shaking my head. "I want you to talk to me first. I want to be the person you come to when you're upset about us, not her." He didn't respond right away. Instead, he sat down across from me, rubbing his temples. "I guess I just didn't think about it that way." I sighed, the exhaustion weighing on me. "That's the problem, Liam. You didn't think about me." Another silence stretched between us, and in that silence, I realized something heartbreaking. I had spent so much time worrying about whether Liam was emotionally cheating on me, but the truth was, it almost didn't matter, because I already felt alone in this relationship. That night, I lay in bed beside him, but it felt like we were miles apart. The next morning, I woke up before him. As I got ready for work, my mind was racing. Could we fix this? Could I learn to trust him again? I didn't know, but I knew one thing for certain. I wasn't going to be in a relationship where I felt second place. That evening, when Liam came home, I was already waiting for him. "We need to talk," I said, my voice steady. His expression darkened. "I already told you I didn't." I know, I interrupted. But this isn't just about Emily. It's about us. About how I feel like I'm not the person you turn to when things get hard. Liam swallowed hard, his hands clenching at his sides. I didn't mean to make you feel that way, I nodded. But you did. He looked at me for a long time, his eyes searching mine, and for the first time I saw it, the fear. The realization that he might actually lose me. I don't want to lose you, he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. Tears burned in my eyes. Then fight for us, Liam. Silence. And then, after a long pause, he nodded. Okay. Relationships aren't about never making mistakes. They're about learning from them. And in that moment, I had to decide, was Liam willing to learn? Was he willing to change? I didn't have all the answers that night, but I knew one thing. If he wasn't, then I deserved someone who would. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have you ever been in a situation like this? Let's talk about it below.